Air. Starting off with Gilead. Yeah, we're going to see a pretty universal trend here. A majority of them is just a nasty, nasty break. We broke below the August 8th low, which I don't know, man. Uh, a lot of this is going to be news driven. Let's go ahead since we broke below here. Oops, wrong one. All right, so if we were to look just right here, kind of clear the charts out, more of a long-term perspective on things. This looks actually pretty decent, right? So we dropped below everything from August. So let's take August out of the picture. Well, the end of August rather. And come back down to where we started off. This is May. So we found our support from May, which is actually a pretty positive thing, honestly, now that I think about it. As long as we can hold this 67.77, now I think this is better that we did this. You see what I'm saying? So we're right at the 50%. If we can hold this 50%, then we're still bullish. Did we break it? We broke it just a little bit. So there's a higher probability that we will break it again. However, it didn't close below it. And our volume started to pick up. It closed midway through, so more or less like a doji. So this upcoming week is going to be a telltale sign. If we stay above the doji, this little part right here, the little flying saucer in the middle of it, if we stay above there, then the probability is that we're going to retest our highs. If we go below there, right, if we're below the doji, then the probability is that we'll probably at least come touch our teal line, which was our prior support, and then probably down to our 65.13. BMY. August or September was just massively terrible for them. And August, September, just terrible. 69 to 59. So basically a 10-point drop. We reached target from our downward target, right? Here we are. We hit that on Friday, right? That was option or payday if you own dividend, excuse me, that's what it was. Dividend was on Thursday. Friday we popped. So there could be a nice little bounce, maybe up to the 61.11. At that point in time, I'd watch to see what will happen. Do we come back down and continue our downward trajectory, or do we at least try to test this 62? Sarepta, Sarepta, looking pretty good. We broke out right here, right? We had a nasty day on Wednesday, but we popped right back above. And Friday, looking great. Let's do weeks. Hold on, because days don't really show, because we're way over here, right? We broke out of here, which is nice. Our next target would be the 99. Next breakout would be this dotted line right here, which is the 103. We can break this 103. We are headed to 124. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but let's not forget a year ago this stock was at 181, right? And it was just one massively terrible week that brought from 174 down to 80, to basically 90-point drop right there in 1 week. So little by little, we're slowly but surely trying to break ourselves above. But our next key level is these two teal lines. ABBV. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, beautiful on Monday, right? Right? We broke out, hit a new high, and then got literally destroyed. Like Monday was 121 to 106. We hit the high, and everybody and their mama sold, and their grandma and their dogs and cats and everybody sold. Now, Excuse me. I was just looking at the volume. If we had some massive, massive volume. Now, ABBV is known to do this before. We've had massive, massive drops. Massive drops followed by, these are weeks. However, massive drops, we fill our drop and then we head higher. Massive drop, we fill our drop, we head higher. So right here, massive drop went to our secondary part, or basically our, I don't know, third support level right here on, and I don't know. I mean, it looks like it stopped cold turkey right here. And then we broke below a little bit, but we're holding it. If we can hold this 106, then as crazy as it sounds, I'd be a buyer. Just be careful. We have dividend risk coming up really soon, $1.30, so that could drop the stock $1.30. And then what do we got here? We got earnings on 10/29. Johnson & Johnson kind of having some struggles. From our extension right here, it's still active, right? We broke above the 50 come July and then broke below it. These are weeks. It's still the same though. Nothing really changes. We really need to get above the 160.91. We get above the 160.91, then this is more interesting. However, on the downward targets that we had, we almost hit target of 157. So if you see, we were jiggling around the 127, came back to the 100, and then almost came all the way down to the 161 extension on the downside, which was 157. So just be careful. That could be the downward move that we are potentially what we were looking for, as they bought it pretty tough at the pretty close to our target, but at the 158.57. So just be careful. That could be what it was looking for us to continue higher, and at that point we would need to stay above the 160.61. However, we could come up to this 161.60 and then roll back over and touch our target of 157. So just be careful. It would be a buy, maybe Friday with a better buy right on the bounce. However, just kind of track this. If we can say above the 160.91, then continue. Then that would be your pressure point right there. But before you do any buying, unless you bought it perfectly already, I would be very careful, and I'd want it to get above this 160 and really above the 161.60 with a break or the stop out at 160.91. AstraZeneca, we're looking pretty good. We had some nastiness, but right to our teal line support, and boom, now back to our secondary or our primary tier line support, and we bounced off of it. So a betting man would say, right here we were looking for the down, starting from September really, but it kind of turned around. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's do this. Let's flip it around. Retracement. Boom. To boom. All right. So we're right on our line. Yep. This is more or less the game that they're playing, and our lines match up perfectly. Target, as long as we stay above this 50, would be 62.97. UnitedHealth Group. Absolutely nasty. However, Friday, this is difficult. Ooh. Be a buyer. Yeah, be a buyer. We broke the 50, we broke the 100, we hit perfectly where we needed to, and we closed above the 100 and closed above the 50. buyer with a well-defined exit at probably, I'd give it a little bit of space just because it's a big mover of 386.84. If you want to give it a little extra space, then 383.29, but I'd be a buyer above those numbers. Where are we? Merck. Yeah, well, this was looking like we were headed down. We built our things, and then out of nowhere, it found some support, and blow up to 83. Now, just be careful. This is beautiful. Huge volume. Wow, huge. Look at the volume on this. So we're looking at 15, 15, 15, 8, 11. 16 is a heavy day. Real heavy days, 43 up to 102. Keep that in mind. Be very careful trading this. This could come all the way back down. I would say maybe to 78, and then let's go higher. Do your own research. Figure out what made this pop. But hey, it's looking pretty good. Pfizer. Man, beginning of August, we were looking amazing. 51. Whew. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Nope, we're holding that pretty tight. You see right here from here. As long as we are holding that tight, I would say teal line was resistance. We had trend line coming way down to 40. I don't know if we're heading all the way down that low. If we're gonna stay above this 50% of this move right here, then I would say, next target, try to take out Thursday's high, which was the 93.98 up to the 45 level. Moderna, man, has this had a difficult time. We're looking real promising here to try to outtake everything, and then the market decided to poop, and it has brought Moderna all the way back down here. Let's go. Well, yeah, let's get rid of this. And let's give it a little bit of time. Well, no, we can do. It's hit this pretty much perfectly. Let's do a retracement from here. Okay, look. So this is the game that's being played. We need to get above this 50 right here, which is the 341, no, 356 area. We need to get above the 356 in order for this to be in play. As you see what I'm saying, we touched literally perfect to the 382 on the retracement. Volume kind of pipped up a little bit, not enough to really say anything. Kind of really with the market, I mean, a lot of money's gone into this. Now it didn't break out right here and we kind of double topped. It made sense that we'd flush. I didn't know we would flush that low, but we still have room to flush down to 284. So just keep that in mind.